What's up everybody, Matt Maran here for another My Week With video. So this week I've been driving the 2024 Hyundai Kona N-Line with the 1.6 liter turbo engine and all-wheel drive. And I already did a full review on this vehicle whenever I did my first drive of it a few months back. But now living with it for a week, getting to spend an entire week with this vehicle, I do have a few more takeaways here. There's some things I was really impressed by and also a few things that I was a little disappointed by as well. But first, let's start off with the positives. So the one thing is, this motor is really great. It does make a few more horsepower here and is nice and strong. I love that it's paired up to the 8-speed automatic now. It definitely makes it much smoother, better to live with. And the transmission was pretty good most of the time, although it was a little slow to downshift sometimes. There was a few times where I was like now I'm wanting a downshift, and then it gives me a downshift. And it still isn't perfect with the tuning, but it's still better and smoother than the dual clutch from the previous generation Kona. So in my opinion, it's still an improvement, even though it still isn't the best calibrated automatic transmission in the segment or anything. I'm totally happy with it. Another thing that I'm actually really impressed with was highway drive assist. Typically, in my past experiences with highway drive assist, it was not very good. It wasn't keeping track of road lines and stuff, and other previous Hyundai, Kia, and even Genesis products that I've reviewed in the past. A lot of other people really love the system, but for me, it just never worked very well, at least on my roads where I'm at, where I have some windy highways that are a little more challenging than the average straight as an arrow highways that most of Americans usually drive on. But I took this vehicle on all of the toughest S-bend highway curves here in southwestern Pennsylvania, and it actually did a flawless job. It was always keeping track of the road lines. It was giving me confident steering assist. It wasn't being sketchy or going over road lines like past Hyundais and Kias have done. And so I'm just happy to report that I finally have had a good experience with highway drive assist. And so I think it's great that you have most of this stuff as standard, and just a really nice feature that actually will give you meaningful assistance and help if that's something that you want. And it's all very easy to turn on and stuff, very easy to use, and I really like that a lot. Another thing that I've really grown to appreciate here this week was the shifter. They moved the shifter onto the column here to open up the interior space with these center bins and stuff being much larger now because there's no shifter there. And I love the way they designed this. Other companies also do column mounted shifters, but this one, the way that it is set up, it is so intuitive where you just flip it forward very quickly to go into drive and flip it backwards to go into reverse, and then you have the park right on the end. It's just really well designed, and when I first used it the first couple of times, I was like, this is kind of weird, but then the more that I got used to it, the more I was like, man, this is like so much faster and more efficient even than having to go down to a shifter and clunking around. This is just like, I think one of my favorite automatic transmission shifters currently in a car, and just really nice, and I love that it's on the column here as well. Another thing that I was pretty happy with was the fuel economy I got here in the Kona. Now, the Kona is certainly not best in class by a long shot as far as fuel economy goes. It can't even break into the 30s here for this trim in particular, with the all-wheel drive, which drags it down a couple mpg over the front-wheel drive version, and the turbo motor, which doesn't do you any favors either. And so anyway, but it did meet those EPA estimates. So it's rated at 24 mpg in the city, 29 on the highway, and 26 combined. And I actually did do a pretty good mix of highway and city driving, pretty close to like a 50-50 split, like what the EPA does. And I'm hitting 25.9 mpg currently, so I'm at 26 here. So I'm nailing that combined average perfectly. So if you see the window sticker, if that works for you, then this is going to be totally fine. And at least in my experience, even in early winter here, it is living up to those estimates. But it is worth noting though, this is still, not very impressive fuel economy, considering some of the best in this segment, like the Corolla Cross Hybrid, which is similar money by the way, is a lot more fuel efficient than this. But even the non-hybrid offerings from other competitors, a lot of them do have less power, admittedly, but a lot of them do manage to crack into the 30s, even with all-wheel drive. So I wish it would have been a little bit better, but I know they said that was one of the compromises of going for this 8-speed automatic transmission here, is that you actually did give up a little bit of MPG over that old dual clutch, but they thought that extra smoothness here of the regular torque converter automatic and people's preference for a regular torque converter automatic won out, and that people wouldn't miss the 1 or 2 mpg that were lost switching transmissions there. Now, as far as the things that I didn't love about the Kona, the list is pretty short. We'll also be doing a separate interior review where we'll talk about the interior and how that all fared over the week here. Overall, it was still really impressive. I love how much space you have here in the Konas. But two little quick negatives I do want to mention. The first is that there still is no wireless Apple CarPlay here. Whenever we did the launch about 3 months ago, they were like, wireless Apple CarPlay CarPlay is going to come as an over-the-air update. Same thing with wireless Android Auto. The other little thing that could potentially be more of an issue, and I'm hoping it's just a weird glitch with this vehicle. There was one time where I turned up a hill and I hit the gas and I was accelerating, and then all of a sudden the electrical system cut out for a split second. I don't know if it's just a little short in the system or what, but like everything like turned off and then turned back on like a split second later. It was literally just like must be a loose wire or something, but everything, thankfully, I mean, the car kept going. There was no drivability issues or safety issues or anything like that, but like everything, like it reset the radio station, it reset like the airbag sensors for the passenger seat and was lighting up that light, and like literally the entire electrical system, it seems, aside from the engine, like went down for a split second. They're really strange. Again, I'm hoping just a loose wire in the back of this one and not, you know, a symptom of a greater issue or anything. But that was just one little thing that I have never experienced in a press car. Lots of pre-production press cars that I've driven. I don't know if this one is pre-production or early regular production, but regardless, never had a car's electrical system cut out even for a millisecond like that before. So that was an interesting little experience there. But aside from those two little minor complaints, I mean, it goes to show just how good this vehicle is. It was just a really nice thing to live with, a great thing to just run around, you know, do your errands. It's still nice and small, even though they have grown it. It's still that nice, easy to park, easy to drive, toss it around, you know, go anywhere kind of little vehicle that I had a lot of time driving this vehicle this week. I had a lot of errands to run here. I'm filming this here in the Christmas week of 2023. You know, I drove this more than the average vehicle, almost 200 miles here, and it's just been a really nice, fun little companion. And so I'm really happy with the Kona, and I think that especially now that it's, you know, got decent sizing here with a decently usable back seat, you know, a nice cargo space and all that, I think it's really going to win over a lot of people. And you know, I think this is going to be a very, very popular model for Hyundai, as long as the styling doesn't put you off. I personally think the styling looks great. People seem to be admiring it during my week with it, and yeah, I think they did a great job here on the new Kona. But anyway, that's all of my thoughts here on my week with the 2024 Kona. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. Huge thanks to Hyundai for providing me here with this Kona to review for you guys. And yeah, be sure to watch the interior review if you want to hear all of the details on this interior, and also if you want to hear more of the driving mechanical details and all the things as far as this 2024 update. I already have my full review video that's a much longer video. I'll go more in depth on all of that. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on the 2024 Kona in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.